I don't usually crash at people's places, even if I know them. But that night, it made sense. I'd been in Austin for a few days visiting friends, and I was heading back home to Louisiana. It's a long drive, so I planned to leave early, but right before I did, I got a message from someone I hadn't talked to in years. Evan, we were close back in high school, then life just split us off in different directions. No drama, just distance. We still followed each other online, but that was about it. He saw my post, asked when I was leaving, and said he lived about an hour outside the city, right along my route back. Stop by, he said. Catch up. I figured, why not? His place wasn't hard to find, but it felt isolated. Older neighborhood, fewer houses, more space between them. The house itself looked like it had been standing there for decades. Not abandoned or broken down, just aged. The kind of place where everything creaks a little more than it should. When I stepped onto the porch, the wood groaned under my weight. He opened the door before I even knocked. Same guy, same smile. We hugged, laughed, it felt normal, like no time had passed. Inside, though, something felt off, not in an obvious way, just old. The air had that dry, wooden smell. The furniture looked like it hadn't been replaced in years. Every step across the floor made noise. Still, we settled in, started talking, drinking. One drink turned into a few. Time blurred. At some point he looked at me and said, "Dude, you're not driving tonight. Just crash here." He wasn't wrong. I agreed. He pointed me to a spare room down a short hallway. I barely paid attention walking in. I was exhausted, a little drunk, and ready to pass out. I remember one thing, though. The room felt unused, like the air had been sitting still for a long time. I didn't question it. I just laid down and knocked out. I woke up in the middle of the night. No idea what time it was. My mouth was dry, my head heavy. That familiar after-drinking haze sitting on top of everything. The room was almost completely dark, except for faint moonlight slipping through the blinds. That's when I saw it. Something in the corner. At first, I thought it was a coat. Long, dark, hanging near the closet. But the longer I stared at it, the less it looked like clothing. The shape was wrong, too structured at the top, like shoulders, like a person just standing there, not moving, not breathing, just there, watching. My chest tightened instantly. I tried to rationalize it. Maybe I missed it earlier. Maybe I was just drunk, but something about it didn't sit right. Still, I forced myself to turn away, told myself I was overthinking it, closed my eyes. Eventually, I fell back asleep. The next time I woke up, it wasn't gradual. It was sudden, because I heard something, a slow, careful creak, like weight shifting on old wood. Not loud, but deliberate. My eyes snapped open. The room was dim, now early morning, light creeping in. I turned toward the corner, and my stomach dropped. Nothing was there. The coat gone. Completely. The corner was empty. I got up immediately. Didn't think, didn't process, just moved. Went straight to Evan's room and shook him awake. He was out cold. Took a minute to even respond. "What?" he mumbled. "There was something in that room," I said. "In the corner. Like a coat, but not really. It was there. And now it's not." He blinked at me, still half asleep. "What are you talking about?" "In the spare room. On the closet." He sat up slowly, clearly confused. "I don't have anything hanging in there," he said. "No coat. No rack. Nothing." That didn't help. At all. We went back to the room together. I showed him exactly where I saw it. Right by the closet. Still nothing. Empty. We checked the closet. The hallway. Every room. Doors, windows, everything. Locked. No signs of anyone being there. No explanation. Eventually, he tried to brush it off. Said maybe I was half dreaming. said the alcohol probably messed with my head. And honestly, I wanted to believe that. I really did. But I left as soon as the sun was fully up. Didn't stay for breakfast. Didn't hang around. Just grabbed my stuff and got out. The whole drive home I kept replaying it. That shape, the way it stood, the way it disappeared, and that sound, that slow, careful movement. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe my brain filled in the gaps. Or maybe someone was in that room with me, standing there, watching me sleep, and for some reason, decided to leave before I woke up for good. This happened when I was 18. I was on a road trip with my parents and one of my closest friends. I'll call her Emma. We were traveling through a rural part of the country, heading toward a popular theme park we'd planned to visit the next day. It was supposed to be a fun, simple trip. It didn't turn out that way. We had an 8-hour drive and didn't bother booking a campsite ahead of time. Big mistake. By the time we reached the area that evening, everything was full. Apparently, there was some major event in town, and every official campsite was booked out. After calling around with no luck, my dad decided we'd just find somewhere quiet and camp for the night. We drove until we found a small gravel parking area just off a wooded reserve. It was isolated but not completely abandoned. A few people had been there earlier, and one woman we asked said it was usually safe. That was enough for us. Looking back, it shouldn't have been. The lot was surrounded by dense trees, and there was a narrow path leading to a beach about a 10-minute walk away. At first, we thought about camping closer to the water, but something about it didn't feel right. So we stayed near the parking area instead. As we got out of the car, I noticed something. There was another vehicle parked farther off to the side. Old, worn down. No one inside. It just sat there. At the time, I brushed it off. We set up 2 tents, one for my parents, one for me and Emma. By the time we were done, it was late. Around 11. We hung out for a bit, watched videos, tried to relax. Eventually, we turned off our phones and tried to sleep. It must have been around midnight when we heard it. A sharp metallic sound, like metal hitting rock. Emma and I both froze. It came from the direction of that abandoned car. Then we heard it again and again. Slow, deliberate, like someone using a tool. Neither of us moved. Neither of us spoke. We just listened. A few seconds later, there was a loud clatter, like something heavy being tossed. Then a car door, a trunk slamming shut, and suddenly the engine roared to life. The car sped off fast, way too fast for a quiet forest road. We were shaken, but trying to stay calm. I texted a friend who lived a few hours away, just casually mentioning where we were. His reply came almost instantly. "Why are you there? That area is not safe." He told me the nearby beach had a reputation, illegal activity, people going missing, stuff no one really talked about openly. That's when the unease really set in. About 10 minutes later, we heard a scream. Not just any scream, a man's scream. Loud, raw, full of panic. It came from somewhere deep in the woods. I felt my whole body go cold. Emma grabbed my arm so tight it hurt. I immediately texted my mom in the other tent. No response. So I called her. She picked up, groggy, confused. She said she didn't hear anything. That somehow made it worse. After that, everything went quiet. Too quiet. Then footsteps. Slow, careful, moving through the gravel, right outside our tent. I stopped breathing. The steps circled us first, then moved toward my parents' tent, then toward our car. Whoever it was, they were checking everything, not just passing by. Emma and I sat completely still. I turned my phone screen off so no light would show through the fabric. Every second felt stretched out. The footsteps stopped, right outside, just standing there, watching, Then headlights suddenly lit up the entire area. Bright, blinding. The same car. It had come back. I forced myself to look through a tiny gap in the tent. I saw a car door slam. Then it sped off again. Fast, like it didn't want to be seen. A few minutes later, another set of headlights appeared. This time a police car, driving quickly in the same direction. After that, nothing else happened. No more sounds. No movement. Just silence. Emma and I didn't sleep. We grabbed the keys, locked ourselves in the car, and stayed there for the rest of the night. I sat awake until sunrise, just staring out into the trees, waiting. The next morning, my mom told me something that made it even worse. She had heard something during the night. Footsteps. And breathing. Heavy breathing. Right outside their tent. We packed up immediately and left. No one argued. No one wanted to stay a second longer. Later that day, we tried to move on. Went to the theme park like nothing happened. But that night, I looked up the area. I wish I hadn't. There had been a recent murder in those woods. A man stabbed. Gang-related, according to reports. And near that same beach, multiple disappearances. Unsolved. I still think about that night. The shovel. The scream. The footsteps. The breathing. And the worst part, whoever was out there knew we were there. And for some reason, they decided to leave. I was 6 years old when this happened. Most of my early childhood memories are kind of blurry, but this one stuck with me. I have an older brother. I'll call him Ryan. He's 2 years older than me, so he was 8 at the time. We shared a bedroom upstairs. Our parents slept downstairs, and our dad was strict. Lights out meant lights out. If we got caught awake past bedtime, we were in serious trouble, so neither of us ever messed around with that. That's why I knew something was wrong the moment Ryan shook me awake in the middle of the night. I remember opening my eyes, annoyed, about to ask what he was doing, but before I could say anything, he leaned in close and whispered, "Don't talk. Just listen." There was something in his voice that made me stop, so I listened. At first, nothing. Then I heard it. A voice. Soft, almost too soft, coming from downstairs. It sounded like our mom, Ryan Ethan, barely above a whisper, like she didn't want to be heard by anyone else. I sat up immediately. "That's Mom," I whispered. Ryan shook his head right away. "No, it's not." I remember getting irritated. I thought he was just trying to scare me. "It is Mom," I said. "Why would you wake me up if it's not?" He just stared at me and said, quieter this time, "Because I don't think it's her." I got out of bed. Honestly, I was more annoyed than scared at that point. Our bedroom door opened into a short hallway. Right next to it was another door that led to the staircase going downstairs. I walked over to the bedroom door first and pressed my ear against it. The voice came again, clearer this time. "Ryan, Ethan, come here." It sounded exactly like her. Same tone, same voice, everything. I looked back at my brother. "See?" I said. "That's Mom," but he just shook his head again. "No, something's wrong. I don't know why I did it, but I unlocked the door that led to the stairs. I opened it slowly, trying not to make any noise, just enough to see through. The staircase was dark, but at the bottom, there was someone standing there. A woman, just standing still. I couldn't see her face clearly, just her shape, her outline. But I knew immediately that wasn't my mom. Then she spoke. "Hi, sweetie," she said softly. "Come down here." I slammed the door shut, locked it, ran back to our bedroom and locked that too. That's when it hit me, and I started crying. Ryan kept saying, "I told you. I told you." We didn't even hesitate. We decided to scream, as loud as we could. We counted to 3, and then just lost it. Yelling, stomping, crying, anything to wake our parents up. Within seconds, we heard footsteps running up the stairs, then pounding on the door. Our dad was yelling, asking why the door was locked. He sounded angry at first, but the second we opened it, everything changed. He saw my face, saw that I was crying, and he knew something was wrong. We told them everything. The voice, the whispering, the woman at the bottom of the stairs. My mom's face went pale. She said she hadn't called us, not once. My dad didn't say much. He just turned and went downstairs, fast. After a while, my mom tried to calm us down, told us everything was okay. But I remember something that didn't feel normal. Before she left the room, she told us, lock the doors. That had never happened before, not once. A little later, we saw flashing lights through the window. A police car. We weren't allowed downstairs. No one told us what happened. For years, whenever we asked, our parents gave the same answer. Probably just someone who got into the house, but that never made sense to me. Not really, because of one thing. How did she know our names? Even now, as an adult, that's the part I can't explain. The voice, the whispering, the way it sounded exactly like my mom. And sometimes I still think about it. What would have happened if I actually went downstairs?